All right, Locomotion 5, Great Britain and Ireland in 1900. All right, 1900. We're going way back. All right, well, avatars are still as ugly as ever, so we're going to change the avatar, change the color. Basically everything that I've been doing all along. And I'm going to max out my loan that I have available to me. So the whole point of this level is to deliver 1,000 passengers by the end of 1909. So I have 10 years to move 1,000 people. So I'm going to max out my loan. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to find the biggest city and the second biggest city. I'm going to see what it's going to take to actually join these two. Makes sense for me to actually join the biggest city and the second biggest city, primarily because, well, naturally they're going to have the greatest population of people to move. There's no sense in joining two tiny little villages if it's going to take more than 10 years to move 1,000 people. So I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to do a double platform station with crossovers at the start. I think these stations are actually going to be a little bit smaller. I think they're about 10 long. And the reason why they're 10 long is, well, for one, I'm kind of cramped for space. And two, I don't really have a whole heck of a lot of money. So we'll just go 10 long and see how that goes. You can also see that I am placing this station as close to London city centre as possible without actually destroying any buildings or any roads. So we're just setting up the railway track. I'm going to set up my crossovers just so I have one dedicated in and one dedicated out, going to and from the station. So you can see the dedicated in and the dedicated out. I have a little bit of terraforming to do here just to level things out. Again, this is 1900. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of money to play with, so you can see Peterborough up in the upper right corner. That's where I'm heading off to. I guess there's really not much to narrate at this point. It's just basically laying down track. Oh well. Station's 10 long, doing the crossover stuff at the start. Get my signals straight. And that pretty much does it. At this point, all I need to do is just build a train. So there's only one train available, and so I'll put in as many passenger carriages as I can that will actually fit on the station platform. And I'll just send it on its way. Now you'll notice that I didn't even give it an order. With passenger trains, I just have them stop and go at the station. I don't have them wait for a full load. I find that you would be waiting forever, basically, for a full load of passengers to be on the train before it actually leaves the station. And that kills your performance rating and also kills the amount of money that you are able to bring in. Unlike coal, passengers actually give a shit if they're waiting either at the station or actually in the train for an extended period of time. Your performance goes down. So it's better just to have the train given open order where it's just going from one station to the next to the next. So that's what it's doing here. So I've delivered about 234 passengers in less than a year. So I'm well on my way to actually completing this. It's just a matter of waiting it out at this point so I can finish the challenge and go on to the next one. I suppose I could start another rail line that is connecting maybe the third place and the fourth place city in terms of passengers, but why bother at this point? You know, I'm almost a third of the way through. The whole point is just to get through the challenge by the end of 1909, and already I can tell I'm going to do that. So there is another city that this circuit is happened to be going by, Milton, was it Milton Keys? So I might as well pick up some people here too while the train's coming in and out. So I'll set up a platform. Now you can see how the train is much longer than the platform allows. And that actually will hurt your performance index as well. So I'm going to get rid of all these passenger carriages. It takes longer to load people if the train is longer than the platform, and it actually may not leave the station full because the back end of the train is sticking out past the platform. So that's why I ended up getting rid of a couple of the carriages. So I'm going to start another train here just to get things moving, even though I'm more than halfway done. Again, it's open orders. It's just going to go from one station to the next, to the next, to the next. I wasn't able to make the train as long as the first train because I've kind of run out of money, but that's alright. The whole point of this is just to move people. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting it out for a little while until this challenge is completed. And it looks like I got a bankruptcy warning. I'm not really actually making any money. If I was forced to actually stay within budget, moving passengers around would not be my first thing I would do. I'd actually find some materials to move around because you get paid out a lot more for coal and moving other materials around rather than passengers. Passengers, you have to move a lot of passengers relatively quickly in order to make money. So in this case, I didn't care if I was going to go bankrupt. As long as I completed the challenge before I went bankrupt, I was fine. And there we go. We're done.